It's Wednesday, September 2. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. Jamaica recorded 3 new COVID-19 deaths over the last 24 hours and 224 new COVID-19 cases. Simone Absalom has an update.
The deceased are an 88-year-old man from Clarendon, a 73-year-old man also from Clarendon, and a 79-year-old man from St. Elizabeth. All 3 men had underlying conditions, notably Parkinson's disease, hypertension, alcoholism, and diabetes. They bring to 24 the total number of COVID-19 related deaths on the island. The 224 new positives bring the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases for the island to 2,683. They range in age from 2 years to 87 years old. The case breakdown are as follows. 81 cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 51 in St. Catherine, 17 in Clarendon, 15 in St. Thomas, 4 in St. Mary, 28 in Portland, 4 in Trelawney, 12 in St. James, 5 in Manchester, 1 in Westmoreland, and 6 in Hanover. 5 of the new cases are contacts of confirmed cases, and 219 are under investigation. Meanwhile, there have been 8 new recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the island's total recoveries to 898. There are currently 1,686 active cases being monitored, including 6 critically ill patients and 13 who are moderately ill. For the news on PBCJ, I'm Simone Absalom.
The Transport Authority's office at 119 Maxfield Avenue in Kingston is closed until Monday, September 7. Meanwhile, the Transport Authority's office at 107 Maxfield Avenue in Kingston is currently being sanitized after 3 employees came in contact with persons who tested positive for COVID-19. Corporate Communications Manager at the Transport Authority, Petra Keane-Williams, says the employees have all been placed in quarantine. They are awaiting COVID-19 test results. And the Ministry of Justice offices at 61 Constant Spring Road in St. Andrew has been closed to facilitate sanitization. This after 2 employees tested positive for COVID-19. The ministry says its Human and Resource Management Department has been informed of some persons being unwell. Permanent Secretary Sansia Bennett-Templer says face-to-face operations, such as receiving applications for marriage licenses and expungements, are slated to resume when the ministry reopens on Friday. The Justice Ministry is also allowing staff members to work from home where possible or engage in flexible working hours. And calls are being made for the government to reinstitute the work-from-home order amidst the surge in COVID-19 cases. The latest call has come from the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU, amidst a number of closures of public and private entities due to employees contracting COVID-19. The government first introduced the work-from-home order in March, but allowed it to expire on May 31. Since then, the COVID-19 numbers have increased by the hundreds. And on the eve of the general elections, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, is using more technology in its activities, particularly in conducting the upcoming general elections. Director of Elections Glasspool Brown says an electronic voter identification system will be utilized in 7 constituencies during the general election on Thursday, September 3. We get more in this report.
Well, we have removed the ballot aspect of it. It's now the electronic voter identification system. Those now will be used in 7 constituencies. And the 7 constituencies, they include Western St. Andrew, West Central St. Andrew, East Kingston and Port Royal, East Rural St. Andrew, Central St. Catherine, Eastern St. Catherine. Those are the constituencies that we use. What it does is that it uses biometrics. In other words, your fingerprint is used to identify you, and that allows the process to move a little bit faster.
Faster, yes. The Electronic Voter Identification System, formerly the Electronic Voter Identification and Ballot Issuing System, is computer-based and requires voters to place a specific finger on a fingerprint scanner. Once the voter's identity has been confirmed, then a ballot will be issued for voting.
Thinking of certain vision of the commission is that we hope to roll that out in as many as possible as in terms of the number of constituencies. Certainly our vision is to put them in the 7,000 polling stations across the island. We have started the process. Yes. It's now at the procurement committee, PPC. Yes. So hopefully during the next election cycle, we'll be able to roll out those gadgets across the entire island.
Mr. Brown said the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, has also been having discussions about technology that could allow voters to vote from any polling station in any parish across the island. Mr. Brown shared the information in a recent Jamaica Information Service Get the Facts interview. For the news on PBCJ, I'm Gabrielle Thompson.
The Cannabis Licensing Authority, CLA, is working on a policy for cultivators' transitional special permit. Marlon Samuels has more in this report.
This will help small farmers who find it challenging to enter the market. Acting Senior Legal Officer Sheldon Reed says the special permit will help small farmers or subsistence farmers who find it challenging to enter the industry at the licensed stage.
We understand that a certain aspect of the grassroots do find challenges entering the industry, and a lot of those challenges are linked to finances, among other things. And so what we've done in contemplating this transitional permit is to meet the grassroots, meet the traditional grower, meet anybody who's never even grown before but is now interested. Where they are. Do they have access to legitimate land? Yes. And do you have at least, 5 feet worth of fencing? Yes. And we'll be creative in how we ask you to have fencing. If we can incorporate some bamboo, hog wire, that sort of thing, we're there. We're saying, let's see what the grassroots has. Let's meet you where you are. Let's ask that you have certain basic infrastructure. And of course, if you are a person who is fit and proper, meaning that you wouldn't be, a person who is convicted for fraud or that sort of thing, where it would be very unwise for you to have a license to handle ganja, then if you have those basic things, and I'll get to the fees that this permit will be, then we want to incorporate you into the license regime.
Mr. Reed also says the special permit was developed to facilitate greater inclusion in the industry.
This permit, it's currently being developed. We're at the policy stage, and we've gone into the grassroots, so to speak, into the field, literally into the fields and into the hills and the valleys, to see if we can ascertain how it is that we can better incorporate the broader cross-section of the country, and more specifically of this cannabis industry, into this medical cannabis industry.
The officer says the CLA is aiming to make the special permit at least 50% lower than the cost to obtain a Tier 1 cultivator's license, which is $1,000 US. He was speaking at a recent JIS think tank session. For the news on PBCJ, I am Marlon Samuels.
Let's now take a closer look at the foreign exchange market as well as other market indicators. Gabrielle Thompson has the business report.
On Tuesday, September 1, the Bank of Jamaica intervened in the foreign exchange market with $20 million US in a BFXITT flash sale to authorized dealers and cambios. Speaking recently, BOJ Governor Richard Biles said the central bank will be working closely with authorized dealers and cambios to ensure smooth and orderly functioning of the foreign exchange market. In Tuesday's trading session, the JSE Combined Index declined by 6,628 points to close at under 400,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 74 stocks, of which 26 advanced, 37 declined and 11 traded firm. The junior market index declined by 35 points to close at under 3,000 units. Stocks advanced for 1834 Investments Limited, AMG Packaging and Paper Company, and Blue Par Group. Stocks declined for 138 Student Living Jamaica, Access Financial Services Limited, and BARITA Investments Limited. Trading firm were Siboney Group Limited, Express Catering Limited, and Indies Pharma Jamaica Ordinary Shares. Wigton Wind Farm Limited Ordinary Shares was the volume leader with 5.7 million units, followed by Trans Jamaican Highway Limited with 1.6 million units and Carreras Limited with over 1 million units. Now for the foreign exchange. The US dollar on Tuesday, September 1 ended trading at $146.65. The Canadian dollar sold for an average $113.55. The pound sterling traded for $199.87, and the euro ended trading at $179.20. Oil rose towards $46 a barrel on Wednesday, gaining for a third day, supported by a report that U.S. crude inventories fell and as surveys showing stronger manufacturing raised hopes of a recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. Brent crude futures gained 3 cents to $45.61 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 11 cents to $42.87 a barrel. And that's it for the Business Report on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson.
There is a growing body of research that supports the health benefits of massage therapy for conditions such as stress, fibromyalgia, low back pain, and more. In this week's edition of Living Healthy, Simone Absalom explores the benefits of massage therapy with massage therapist Dawn King.
A massage therapist will apply gentle or strong pressure to your muscles and joints on your body so as to ease pain and tension that you're feeling. And right now in our studio, we have with us a massage therapist. Her name is Miss Dawn King. Thanks so very much for agreeing to speak with us, Miss King. First of all, what is massage therapy?
Massage therapy is relaxation of the body, mind and soul.
When you get a massage, it helps to reduce muscle tension. It improves circulation. It helps with stimulation of the lymphatic system. It helps with the reduction of stress hormones. It helps with relaxation. It increases joint mobility and flexibility.
In a time like this when COVID is around, there's lots of benefit, total relaxation, take your mind off things, you know. It's the way of life. A lot of people don't do it, but they should.
What are some of the types of massages?
Well, you have the basic massage, which is Swedish massage. You have hot stone massage. You have sports massage. And sports massage is it's a lot of sports people who get themselves hurt would definitely need a deeper massage. It's a deeper massage.
So massage on the go. Why did you decide to do massage on the go?
Spa on the go. We go to offices, homes, events, party. People don't have the time to come to the spa anymore. So you take it to them. So 5-10 minutes, you know, you get a 5-10 minutes massage and you're good for the rest of the day.
You can hear more about Miss King's Spa on the Go on the next episode of Blueprints to Health, next Monday at 12:30 p.m. As Jamaicans prepare to cast their vote in the general election on September 3, bear in mind that wearing your mask and physical distancing is now a part of living healthy. Here are some other things you should know.
On election day, all electors must wear a mask and have their hands sanitized. Electors must observe 6 feet physical distancing and remove your mask when instructed by the presiding officer so you may be identified. You will be issued a ballot along with a pencil and directed to the voting booth. Hand your ballot to the presiding officer and place your pencil in the box for used pencils. Sanitize your hand before dipping your finger in the electoral ink. This is a message from the Electoral Commission of Jamaica.
In In regional news, St. Lucia has recorded the recovery of all its COVID-19 patients, but public health officials warn that this is no time for the nation to rest on its laurels, given the continued threat of the deadly pandemic.
Once again, there are no confirmed active COVID-19 cases on the island as of Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. According to the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar-George, all 26 of St. Lucia's COVID-19 patients have recuperated from the respiratory disease.
St. Lucia has recorded a total of 26 confirmed cases of COVID-19 to date. The last case, recorded on Tuesday, August 18, 2020, was a 32-year-old female who traveled from the U.S. She has recovered fully, both clinically and with negative tests. Presently, all of the confirmed cases of COVID-19 have recovered, and St. Lucia has recorded 0 COVID-19 deaths. A total of 5,542 tests have been conducted to date.
St. Lucia's leading public health official also updated the nation on the case of the returning national who was found unconscious at the quarantine facility.
As it relates to the 48-year-old national who was found unresponsive in her room at one of the government quarantine sites on Sunday, August 23, 2020, the individual is still being managed at the Owen King EU Hospital and her condition is not linked to COVID-19.
Officials remain leery of the complacency seeping into the collective national consciousness of the country. The CMO reiterates the importance of adhering to the COVID-19 protocols, which have proven effective in staunching in-community spread. She also advises continued vigilance in keeping the border secure.
As we continue to open new sectors such as education, the public is advised to take personal responsibility to protect themselves and their family. We continue to increase surveillance to reduce the risks such as the illegal entry at the borders, breaches to home quarantine, and non-adherence to protocol. The public is advised that protocols are still in place. These include the use of face masks in public, maintaining a safe physical distance from others, and to avoid mass crowd gatherings. We appeal to everyone to continue supporting our national efforts to minimize the threat of COVID-19 on our island. The 5 respiratory clinics remain open to facilitate anyone with respiratory signs and symptoms, and the 311 hotline is also available where concerns and questions can be addressed.
Regular hand washing with soap and water or alcohol-based hand sanitizer where soap and water are not available, as well as covering the mouth and nose with disposable tissues or clothing when coughing and sneezing, continue to be the staple of sound hygiene practices to stem the spread of COVID-19. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
Although the new school term has officially reopened in Trinidad and Tobago, online learning will not commence until next week. School staff, including teachers and principals, will instead look at the logistics of providing online tuition for all students. Sunil Lala of TTT News has more.
Schools have not been physically open for students since March, with the exception of Standard 5 SCA students who came out in July to prepare for that exam. And as the new academic term began on Tuesday, students remained away from school buildings. The Education Ministry as well as government has stated that these face-to-face classes will not be restarted until at least the end of the year, based on where the trajectory of COVID-19 takes this country. But even though school has officially reopened, students will not have online or virtual classes until next week. The Education Ministry has dubbed this week Orientation Week and has placed over 24 videos for students to engage in on its website, including hygiene and COVID, time management, managing stress, and strategies for adjusting and adapting to change. And principals, vice principals, teachers, and curriculum officers on Tuesday started engaging in discussions, either physically at the various schools or virtually. These discussions are to manage the way forward with regards to online teaching and learning and forming the curriculum. Sonolala, TTT News.
In Barbados, financial institutions are set to launch new Visa MasterCard automated banking machine cards. We have the details in this report.
5 commercial banks and 2 credit unions are set to launch a new Visa MasterCard automated banking machine cards on November 1st as the local carry system is abandoned. Confirmation of this came on Monday from President of the Barbados Bankers Association, Donna Wellington. The Managing Director of CIBC First Caribbean's Barbados and Eastern Caribbean operations also said concerns that the new overseas-based system would be a major source of foreign exchange leakage from the local economy was now a non-issue. In an interview with Barbados Today, Wellington explained that local transactions would be settled in Barbados dollars and a tiny fee will go to Visa. Overseas online transactions that involve the use of foreign exchange, however, are a different matter. Wellington pointed out that while the Carif's network would dissolve at the end of next month, Carifs would play a key role in other options, which are expected to hit the local market soon.
In sports, double Olympic champion Elaine Thompson-Herah and MVP track club teammate Julian Forte sped to victory in the final Velocity Fest track meet at the National Stadium on the weekend. Thompson-Herah cruised to 22.79 seconds for victory in the women's 200 meters. National 400 meters record holder Rasheen McDonald of MVP took the men's equivalent in 21.48 seconds. Meanwhile, Forte and 2011 world champion Johan Blake both clocked 10.20 seconds in the men's 100 meters. Forte was credited with the win. And the Velocity Fest series began in June and saw 7 stagings at the National Stadium and the Ashenham Stadium at Jamaica College. And on the pitch with cricket, the Jamaica Tallawahs lost their last match by 19 runs to the Trinbago Knight Riders in their Caribbean Premier League at the Brian Lara Academy in Trinidad on Tuesday. The Tallawahs lost their 4th game in 7 outings, while the Knight Riders maintained their perfect win record also from 7 matches so far. The Tallawahs will next play the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots on Thursday. And in the weather report, the Meteorological Service has discontinued the severe weather alert for Jamaica with immediate effect. The service says that the area of low pressure that was south of Jamaica has developed into Tropical Storm Nana and is moving towards the west away from the island. Although the system is moving away from Jamaica, the area still remains moist and unstable. The forecast is for lingering showers across northern and southwestern parishes tonight, followed by periods of showers and thunderstorm through Thursday. And that's our package. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place, for more news, sports, and weather right here on PBCJ, the People's Station.